Goosebumps is rated GB7 because it may be too spooky for Goosebumps fans under 7.
Hello, Goosebumps fans. Popperina did it, and we're back. And it looks like instead of doing, because this one's going to be the first one, instead of doing the minor book review or minor book, whatever, we got to talk about what the freaking is going on here. Because if you notice, you did read Deep Trouble book, Deep Trouble 2, and then watched, sadly, the last Goosebumps episode. They are completely different freaking things. And the saddest part now, which I'm like, the f*** is this? It's like, yeah, the f*** is this? It's like, I was thinking, oh yeah, so the reason why Deep Trouble 2 was able to become episode is because they're not on the boat anymore. You're dead wrong, idiot. It looks like they were still on the boat in the sequel book. What? Yeah, they wrote them on the island that they were on for a mid-second when the giant crab chased them. I don't remember a giant crab. Okay, are we back? Finally, my goodness. Alright, now I'm able to do it. Hopefully we're sounding good. If not, then damn, because I picked the night to watch it. The night that it came out, I decided to watch it. I think I have 4 that's going to come out, including this one. And then all of a sudden, no, I don't get to have personal time to do it. So I have to go out into my studio. In quotation studio. But anyways, I thought they couldn't do a Deep Trouble. Why? Because it was on a boat and it was so much water. And then it's like Deep Trouble 2. I was like, oh, well, thank goodness they chose one that didn't actually have a boat in it. You're dead wrong, idiot. They had a boat. It's like, they had a boat. They seriously had a boat. And I think I'm being too loud. Sorry about that. Okay, that might be better. So yeah, they actually had a boat. They had a boat in the sequel book, but they didn't have a boat in the actual episode. In the actual episode, they decided to have a beach house. And I think Dr. Ritter was actually just one of the ones that's like, I was going to score it big. So that means that when it comes straight down to it, the elements they took from the book was, of course, the Deep family, Dr. Ritter, the big fish or big animals, I guess you could say, and also the fact that you can turn to fish people. But the thing is that, and I have to watch the episode again, did they actually have plankton? The special plankton that Dr. Ritter made, which, no, he didn't make it. He was just going to steal. I don't know what he was going to steal. He was going to steal something, and he was going to run off and make millions of dollars. But he didn't actually see that, and he met his end, of course. So that means that fish monster that was in the episode was new, kind of. You know, because, well, it's supposed to be Billy had 2 goldfish and 1 snail. Apparently, they didn't have enough money to make the goldfish big. Well, 2 goldfish big and also a snail big. And yeah, Billy has some weird pets. I'm shocked that Horror Town didn't have them. And, well, all I can really say is just how crazy it is that it's just crazy that they actually were able to take it out of the boat and put it on a beach house, which means technically what they could have done was take Deep Trouble, the original book, and do the exact same thing. The only difference thing is that I always say that the cave they were hiding in the second one, which is the only episode we got, that was originally the secret lagoon where he found the mermaid. There you go. That works, right? That freaking works. So if we had the secret lagoon there, then we would be perfectly fine. That in the sequel, it looks like the lagoon dried up. The mermaid was able to, I guess technically you could say that the mermaid was stuck in the lagoon and Billy decides to try to help her to get to sea. And as soon as she got to the sea, then the lagoon is now no more because the mermaid's not there to, you know, make it a lagoon. Instead, it's just nothing anymore. And then the freaking fish people who are hiding there just found it. So there you go. It works. In episode form, it works. I think they said something about there was Ghost 2 in the first book, but don't quote me on that. But I'm just shocked that I am shocked. So they were able to do the sequel to Deep Trouble, but they didn't even do the ship. They did a beach house, and they got rid of Dr. Ritter having, well, I guess he had two flunkies, but technically it was more the fact of he had an assistant. Dr. Deep had an assistant. Well, he had two assistants. Dr. Ritter, or just Ritter, and I forgot his name. And I forgot his name turned into a fish person. And then it was Ritter who actually kind of screwed him over. So in the end, I think there's it's either him or there were so many more fish people, and they're like, yeah, we're angry at you, Ritter. You're coming with us. But I'm just shocked. Again, I'm shocked that they were able to do it and they couldn't do the first one. I'm just shocked at that. And since we're here, might as well talk about the episode's future, which there's no future. Sadly, there's no future. We're not at the point of where the reboot, they are not doing an anthology series. Instead, they're doing what Chucky and Are You Afraid of the Dark is doing. So there's no future, but if we can talk about the future of the episode right quick, or the book, or by the book. So by the book, I think they can do it because, well, if they couldn't do it, then will Pirates of the Caribbean even exist? I'm pretty sure they're able to do it. I'm pretty sure they're really able to actually make this a real thing. It should be no problem to make this real. But do we really want this episode to be by the book? Because there's just some things that didn't work. That's the real question here. It's do you want it to really be truly by the book, word for word, action for action, or do you want to have some correction like what happens sometimes in the Goosebumps TV show, the previous one? That's the real question. For me, I would say that I would just say I would be okay if they tweak it a little bit to make it at least good enough. So it wouldn't be that horrible. The book is not horrible, but the thing of where it's ha ha ha, it showed that I actually traded it for something else. Ha ha ha. And it's yeah, and then Sheena was ha ha ha, I did the same thing too. Oops, I picked the wrong one. Bleh. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's all that's really need to be said. So there you go. I'm just shocked that this and I'll throw this in too, because I did this for the Haunting Hour on my main channel, but I haven't brought Haunting Hour onto this channel. I most likely won't ever do it. So for Haunting Hour wise, I'm just thinking the last episode ever, which it wasn't supposed to be, but since it's the last episode, does this make a good impact for Goosebumps leaving on a good note? Sadly, no. This is one of many that is they don't end on a good note, and this started the whole messed up debacle of R.L. Stine TV shows never end on a proper note. They usually end with more to come. They didn't end it in the way that they wanted to end it. So I would say that I was not satisfied at all, and it makes it even worse being well, shouldn't you call it Deep Trouble 2 Part 1, Deep Trouble 2 Part 2? Because if you name it Deep Trouble, then Deep Trouble 2, people will be confused. They'll be very confused. Kind of like Night Limit Dummy 2, which I bet that's most happened all those years ago. But hey, I'm still investigating it, even though the investigation is a little bit closed. It's open-ended. And I really want to talk about it, where I'm like, Goosebumps got canceled. Nightmare Room got canceled. Haunting Hour horribly got canceled, but it was doing so good. So R.L. Stein's TV show, or shows that are based on R.L. Stein book series, they never actually ended properly, where they're like, we did all we wanted to. We're leaving on an amazing high, and we don't have to actually want to do more. We did everything we wanted to do, and we're done. Sadly, to this day, until we see the reboot, R.L. Stein's stories, R.L. Stein's shows that are inspired by R.L. Stein's book series never actually got to the point of where they did so much and they were so happy with what they did. They did so many seasons, they did so many books, and they're ending it. It never got to that point, and it's sad that to this day it's not to that point. Anyways, tell me what you guys think, and have a scary day and have a scary night.